welcome into this week's edition of the NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind Show right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host, Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me tonight. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below, hitting that subscribe button, and ringing the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing. This is a channel where we discuss lots of motorsports, namely NASCAR, ARCA, IndyCar, and Formula One. We do plan to broaden that scope eventually, but for now, that's what we cover. So on today's edition of the NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind Show, we're looking back at today's 18th annual Overton's 300 from the Chicagoland Speedway, the 1.5-mile oval in Joliet, Illinois. 200 laps, 300 miles, and fairly uneventful race. Only 4 cautions in this race, 2 of those being stage breaks. No caution for an incident until the 3rd stage. So we'll just go ahead and run through stage winners. First off, Tyler Reddick picked up his very first stage victory in stage number 1. And stage 2 went to Kyle Larson. Then the 3rd stage was where we had a little bit happen. The only caution for an accident on the day came at lap 100 at the halfway point. That was when Jeb Burton in the 3-car, Tyler Reddick in the 9, and Ryan Reed in the 16 got together in turn number 3. That would be the end of the day for all 3 of them. And then we had a debris caution at lap 115. That was it. 13 lead changes on the day among 7 drivers. Race high laps led went to Kyle Larson, who led 80 laps on the day. Also leading laps were Kevin Harvick with 38. Tyler Reddick led 35 early on. Christopher Bell led 21 laps. 13 laps went to Daniel Suarez, 11 to Brandon Jones, and 2 laps led for Chase Briscoe, who was in the 60 car this week. All right, so let's get into the results for today's race, and Kyle Larson picks up his 10th NASCAR Xfinity Series victory. Absolutely dominated in this one. Started from the rear because the right front tire went flat after qualifying. They had changed that, so per NASCAR rules, even though it was just a tire change, he had to go to the rear after starting on the pole, or qualifying on the pole at least. Didn't actually start there because he went to the rear. Rocketed back to the front, got to the lead in the 2nd stage, and really after that point, it was Kyle Larson's race. It wasn't much touching him after that point. Kevin Harvick did have a very fast car on the day, just didn't have a lot for Kyle Larson, especially at the end. He came home in the 2nd position. The rest of your top 5 were Cole Custer, Daniel Suarez, and Daniel Hemrick. Rest of your top 10 were Elliott Sadler, Justin Allgaier, Paul Menard, your pole sitter for tomorrow's Overton's 400 for the NASCAR Cup Series, Chase Briscoe, and Chase Elliott in the 23 car for GMS this week. Now as we look 11th through 20th, Christopher Bell started the day off well, had some pit road issues, which relegated him 1 lap down, and that really kind of ruined his day as he had a very fast car. 2nd in the 1st stage, 3rd in the 2nd stage, but wound up 12th in the final running order. Austin Cindric started up front in the 3rd position, but couldn't muster much more than a 14th place finish in this one. 21st through 30th. Michael Annett getting caught up in an accident late in the race, about 70 laps to go. That relegated him to a 30th place finish. And on the final page here, 31st through 40th, we see Ryan Reed, Tyler Reddick, and Jeb Burton there, 32nd, 33rd, and 34th. We already mentioned they got in that accident there, lap 99, and only made it to the halfway point for all 3 of them. Kaz Gralla down there in 40th had some sort of electrical issue on lap 1, and that was the end of the day for Kaz Gralla. It ended basically as it started for Kaz Gralla. He never really got a chance to do much today after starting in the 20th position. Alright, so that's your results for the Overton's 300 from Chicagoland Speedway. Now let's head to the media center and see what your top finishers on the day had to say.
Really, we just had a great car. I think we probably were the best car out there. I think Larson's probably just the best driver at Chicago. So it was a little bit hard to catch him once he started running the top, but I felt like long run wise, I felt like we were about the same speed as he was, and if we were close again, I probably learned some things on the top that probably would have kept us closer to him. But it just sucks I made that mistake. I feel like, I've never made that mistake, I don't think, before, so not that I remember, so it's just frustrating. But we'll move on to the next one, but we got some good momentum, and guys gave me a great car.
I think, I don't know, you can look at any track where you can run inches off the wall, and I'll be faster than anybody. So, once the lap times dropped off enough around the bottom, I could move up there and go really fast. It seemed to, I was pretty, I would say for the most part, we were somewhat tight around the bottom, and then I'd move up to the top, and I'd be a little freer and could roll the corner a little bit quicker. And then you just have the straightaways that really is where all your lap time comes from, being committed to the throttle a lot sooner. So we were able to just, the long runs paid off for us. And then I think we had a really good green flag stop and was able to gap them even more. And then you just try and cruise the win, hopefully, hoping no cautions came out, because restarts are always intense in the Xfinity Series. So, thankfully it didn't happen, and we were able to get the win. So it was nice to finally, I feel like, I don't know if there's other races that I've won that I've dominated like this, but I know I've been leading a lot of races like this, and cautions come out. So it was nice to finally, get the win that we were deserved, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So let's take a quick look at the playoff grid and the point standings following the Overton 300 before wrapping up here tonight. And as you will see, obviously with Kyle Larson winning this one, no changes in the winners column for this week. It's still just Allgaier, Reddick, and Bell up there. So no real changes in that department, but we do have a few position changes below that. Obviously, your top three guys that are in on points that have kind of solidified themselves as really the main guys in on points, that being Custer, Hemrick, and Sadler. Custer and Hemrick each bumping up a spot as Sadler drops 2. They're all still very close, though. Really, all three of them within 4 points of each other. This top 6 right here, Allgaier, Bell, Reddick, Custer, Hemrick, and Sadler, really have solidified themselves as the top 6 guys really running for this championship. And really, you can throw them at a dartboard, really, and it's a wild card as to who your championship 4 is probably going to be, but I think your championship 4 in Xfinity is definitely going to come somewhere from this 6. All 4 of them will more than likely come from these top 6 drivers right here. And really, it's hard to predict which of them will actually be the championship 4 because they've all been really good so far this season. The only other position change in the playoff grid itself, Austin Cindric jumps up a spot over Ryan Reed after Ryan Reed got caught up in that accident on lap 99. Ryan Sieg moves up 2 spots as Michael Annett and Kaz Gralla each drop a spot apiece after their bad days. The cut line's a little more solidified now than it has been, 33-point difference between Ross Chastain and Ryan Sieg, so I think that really emphasizes the fact at this point these guys still can point their way in, but it's going to be harder, especially as this cut line maybe gets a little further defined as we go down the road. It really solidifies the fact that if these guys want to get into the playoffs, they need to win a race. And I'm still specifically looking at Kaz Gralla as the guy that I think has the best chance to win a race that's outside the playoffs right now, as someone that can win a race and actually get into the playoffs. Michael Annett could as well. He's in a junior motorsports car, but he's not really shown the speed consistently, I think, to really make me go, yeah, he can definitely win a race. I'd love to be proven wrong on that, but I just haven't seen it yet. So that's your playoff grid following the Overton's 300, and I believe that will do it for us tonight on the Xfinity Rewind Show. Got a lot coming up here over the next couple of days. It's been a big weekend. If you didn't catch the ARCA Rewind show, we had one for the Scott 150 Thursday night, as well as a truck rewind show for the Overton's 225 from Friday night. So if you haven't seen those, go check those out. We've also got a Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series rewind show coming up tomorrow for the Overton's 400, as well as a special video with our exclusive winner interview with Michael Self, who won the ARCA race Thursday night, the Scott 150. Usually we try to get those actually on the Rewind show, but we couldn't quite get his schedule to line up with ours to actually get it on the Rewind show this week. But we do have that locked down, and that will happen on Sunday, so we'll get that up sometime Sunday evening, probably around when the Cup Rewind show goes up, so you want to keep an eye out for that, as well as Pole Position as usual, Monday night at 8 p.m., quickly recapping everything from Chicagoland as well as F1 from Austria tomorrow. So, if you haven't done it already, you need to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing from Racing News Now going forward. And if you like the video, make sure to hit that big thumbs up button. It is really appreciated when you do. So with that, this has been the NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.